ain't going to go on forever. No matter how good you're going at the moment, how good the team's going, or individuals, it ain't going to go on forever.
Finish at a certain age, and you've still got 40 years to go for the rest of your life. So you need to do something. You can't just, even likes of David Beckham. I can't see him just at 35, whatever it is, finishing football and going, right, okay.
The hardest thing about it, I suppose, is obviously most of your friends are derived from what you've been doing for the last 10 years, and most of those guys are still playing. So you don't see them that easily. I mean, you try and see them at weekends, but they're playing, so they're obviously not going to go out for a beer. So you tend to sort of, they're still friends of yours, you still see them, but in a completely different form of life. So a lot of times you kind of just think, you do make other friends, obviously you've got your new work colleagues and stuff like that, but it takes time to build up good relationships. And that's the hardest change.
That's what I found hardest when I finished playing was, so focused and achieving what you wanted to achieve, your goals, and then all of a sudden it was like, I spent 3 months looking around for a job, and I was like, the total focus had gone, and I sort of drifted a little bit, and I found myself wandering around the streets, going to Starbucks, reading the newspaper. What am I doing?
It's completely different playing professional sport. You travel, the lifestyle, the money perhaps, what your expectations are when you're out socialising, completely different. And you suddenly hit a brick wall.
I get young guys ringing me now saying, what are you doing now? How have you prepared for it? So I say to them, look, get a degree, do a bit of work experience, network, and just prepare for when it all ends. I'm saying not being negative. You may play to 35, that's great, but have something ready.
You get a kid at either 18 or 21 with all the technical ability, but he's mentally immature or not fully developed, and it's what they do outside sport or with the time when they're down away from actual playing that'll help them deal with issues later in life, whether it's further in the career or out in a working career. And there's very little of that. Certainly the older coaches maybe I played with at the beginning of my career are now coaching in cricket, and I think it's an old school of I had it hard, so you'll have it hard, negativity, and not really looking at the mental aspects of what makes a guy tick.
Obviously with rugby now, the way rugby's going, less and less guys are going to university. Historically, it's always been, you finished school, you went to university, you carried on playing rugby because rugby was more about, you needed to mature more as a person, and because of the physical size you need to be to play rugby. And then, you kind of went on and started playing. It's depending on how good you were, depending on how quickly you broke into like these first teams. And but as we're progressing, the guys are starting to play younger and younger because they're hitting the weights a lot earlier. These guys might have to wait until the end of their careers before doing that. And that's going to jeopardise, because only you've got a very small window when you finish playing before you're quite quickly forgotten.
I've had to get back into education 16 years later because football had to work for me. There was no not working. It had to work for me, and that was it. So I was tunnel visioned about it. And I think the problem with the young kids today is that you're going to get kids who think they've got to just think about football or rugby or cricket for them to be successful. Now, I was one of them. That's all. I only had eyes for football because it had to work. Coming from a small town, Rochdale, I wanted to not get out of there, but sound good about Rochdale. But I wanted to do something. I wanted to, look at the wider world, and I knew football could do that. So it had to work, and that was me focus, me drive. That this has got to work. I don't care what.
If I could go back, I'd tell young kids to maybe go out and work one day a week instead of playing golf twice a week like we used to. Like wilderness years where you played rugby, what were you doing in your spare time?
Besides education, watching Sky TV, watching a load of golf games.
Besides education, there's no transferable work skill, and I know everything in an office is pretty idiosyncratic, and you learn everything on the job, and you could still keep your sort of finger on the pulse and do one day or even a fortnight. I should have done it at a stockbroking firm in Newcastle. I got approached a few times, and I said, "No, I'm playing golf, or whatever."
It helped having a degree. I wasn't good enough to play the sport I wanted to play at 18, so I took the next best thing and went to university, got a degree, improved my sport there, played for 10 years, journeyman player probably, tried my best, enjoyed it, and realised it was going to come to an end at some stage, and went abroad for 6 months to get it out of my system. Like what Earl said, I found it hard the first year. missed the physical competition, and then found something else to replace that. So computer courses, finding out what skills what things I enjoyed doing, and then found a job and then retrained.